The world is watching something extraordinary unfold at sea. For years, China has boasted the largest navy in the world, massive destroyers, powerful warships, and fleets that stretch across the horizon. On paper, there should be no contest. The Philippines, with its modest resources, should have no chance of standing up to such power. But here's the shocking truth. The Philippine Coast Guard has done something no one expected. They have turned courage, transparency, and intelligence into weapons far stronger than China's raw numbers. And that's why global experts are saying, the Philippine Coast Guard is 10 times better than China's Navy. Now let's unpack what that really means. China's Navy is like a giant, towering, heavy, and intimidating. But giants move slowly. The Philippine Coast Guard, by comparison, is small and agile, like David standing before Goliath. When Chinese vessels block Filipino supply ships in the West Philippine Sea, the Coast Guard does not back down. They maneuver closer, they stand their ground, and they capture everything on camera. The entire world then sees the truth of what is happening. And this is where the Philippines gains the upper hand. Because while China may have the guns, the Philippines has something even more powerful, the narrative. In fact, the Coast Guard has become a global symbol of bravery. Just imagine, small white ships with the red and blue stripes standing face to face against the gray steel walls of China's Navy. Outgunned? Absolutely. Outmatched? Not at all. This courage resonates across the globe. Nations that once stayed silent are now speaking up. The United States, Japan, Australia, the European Union. Why? Because they see the Philippines as the David who refuses to be crushed. And in the battle of public opinion, the Philippines is winning. But it's not just about symbolism, it's about tactics. The Philippine Coast Guard knows they can't win a war of weapons, so they fight a war of agility. Their ships are smaller but faster. They can outmaneuver China's bulkier vessels. They can slip through blockades, deliver supplies, and hold positions in shallow waters where China's massive ships can't even enter. Every time China tries to intimidate, the Philippines uses brains instead of brawn. That's why global military analysts now say the Coast Guard is punching far above its weight. Then there's the genius of transparency. Instead of hiding confrontations, the Philippine Coast Guard does the opposite. They broadcast them. High-definition videos, raw photos, clear evidence of harassment. The world doesn't have to guess what's happening. They can see it. This flips the script on China. Beijing, despite its massive navy, looks like the bully. Meanwhile, the Philippines, with its smaller Coast Guard, looks like the defender of law, order, and international justice. And in today's interconnected world, reputation is power. But here's the part that shocks people the most. China's Navy might be stronger at sea, but the Philippine Coast Guard has built something far more valuable: trust. Trust with international allies, trust with its own people, trust with the global community. When the Coast Guard speaks, the world listens. When they show a video, the world believes it. And this credibility is exactly what China lacks. Now, let's zoom out for a moment. The Philippines has not been alone in this struggle. Every bold action of the Coast Guard has been reinforced by international partnerships. The United States provides intelligence and joint exercises. Japan donates modern patrol vessels. Australia joins naval drills. Even countries far from Asia, like France and Canada, have voiced support. It's like the world has chosen sides. And it's clear the Philippines has become the symbol of standing up to aggression. So is the Philippine Coast Guard really 10 times better than China's Navy? If you measure in warships, no. If you measure in missiles, no. But if you measure in courage, in strategy, in winning the information war, and in gaining international allies, then yes, the Philippines has already proven itself 10 times better. Because raw power can only go so far, respect and legitimacy go farther, and right now the Philippines has both. Think about it. When China sails into disputed waters, many nations see provocation. But when the Philippines sails into the same waters, they see legitimacy. They see a small nation defending its rights under international law. That's why even without a massive navy, the Philippines is winning battles that China cannot. Battles for respect, battles for truth, battles for the future of the seas. And this is why the world is paying attention. The Philippine Coast Guard has shown us that sometimes, strength isn't about the size of your fleet, it's about the size of your courage. It's about standing up, recording the truth, and showing the world who you are. China may have the biggest navy, but the Philippines has something far more powerful, the world's respect. And in the long run, that might be the most important weapon of all.